Santa is here today doing a little sports radio. And after a Jet loss in the frigid cold and a Met signing of Sean Manaea, Santa's got a goodie for you all. The Joe Benigno Football Monday call-in is brought to you by Empire City Casino. Winners play here. By Approved Oil. Lock in your low oil rate at freezerate.com. And ho, ho, ho. And by HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City. Joe B., Merry Christmas. Welcome in.
Merry Christmas, Sean. I wish I could see you. I hear you dressed like Santa, but unfortunately, all I see is Anthony Gallo's name. So,
unfortunately.
Tiki, how are you, T?
I'm doing great.
Did you get back at night? You get back okay from Vegas?
It was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster because I flew to San Francisco because I wanted the lay-down seat.
Okay.
And I wanted
a lay-down seat,
yeah,
so you flew another hour and a half?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But I also wanted to sleep longer because the flight from Las Vegas is only 4 hours, and I think it's less than 4 hours. And I wanted to sleep for like 5 hours, 5.5 hours. So I went to San Francisco. But I get to San Francisco, we sat on the runway for 45 minutes on a United flight. And so I missed my connection. Luckily, there happened to be another plane going to Newark right behind it, but it was like an hour later. So I ended up just hanging out in the airport for an hour.
Wow.
So, Joe,
God bless you, bro.
What Tiki experienced there was a literal loss by Jets. Okay?
Yes.
And that
is something that I'm well-versed in for the last, 60-plus years.
Exactly. So let's start here. You went to the game? Did you stay?
No, you know what? My daughter and my wife talked me out of it.
Good.
They said, You're 71 years old. If it was a playoff game, if the game meant something, I would have went. But I can't.
Right.
I can't. If I haven't been feeling great the last week or so, I mean, all right. But I don't want to. I'm not taking. I just saw where the great Ricky Henderson died of pneumonia, and he was 6 years younger than me. So I said I better take it easy.
Right. And so, how many hugs and kisses did you give your wife and daughter for talking you out of going to that?
No, I'm
disaster?
well. I didn't see my daughter yesterday, but she called.
Yeah.
I gave my wife a number of hugs and kisses. There was no hugs and kisses for my football team, by the way.
No. And Joe, look, I don't know how you felt. Tiki and I kind of both are aligned in feeling this way. That game yesterday felt a lot like Aaron Rodgers was trying to make everything about Devontae Adams eventually catching his 500th touchdown, and nobody else was allowed to be involved in that offense. And I think it kind of hurt him a little bit.
Well, look, I mean, they don't run the ball well to begin with.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson, I mean, this idea that he's not getting any – I mean, he caught 6 passes yesterday. Devontae caught 7. The guy's on his way to another 1,000-yard receiving year. I think he's got the 4th most targets in the league. So this idea – because Sean, you know this well, okay? The media in this town, okay – and I'm all over the jet riders because they want to get rid of everybody. They want to see Rodgers go. They want to see Adams go. They want to see Wilson go. They want the Jets to be garbage in perpetuity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Chaos.
Because it's a better story for them. And I don't want to mention the names, okay?
Yeah. But chaos is good for business, Joe. You're right.
And that's the bottom line, Teak. They don't ever want to see them be good. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of it. You know how I feel. I want Rodgers back. I want Adams back. I want Wilson here. I want Mike Vrabel to be the head coach. He says he wants the job. Give him the, Black Monday, everybody gets fired. Well, let's have it like the Pope is coming in, okay?
And let's have smoke, Joe? A puff of
let's get a little white smoke, bro. You'll have the black smoke with your team. Let's have a little white smoke for my team, and let's get Vrabel in here. I don't give a damn who the general manager is. I really don't.
Well, Joe, if you've been a good boy, Santa might bring you Mike Vrabel under the tree, okay?
Well, here's what I need under the tree. I've already got a couple things under the tree, Sean. I got the biggest one we got already. You know what I'm talking about. Juan Soto as well, okay? Okay, and so I got those two. Very big, no doubt about it. Now I need Mike Vrabel. I got Sean Manaea. Now I need Pete Alonso. Let's go.
Okay.
Right. Well, he's kind of always – that's like a re-gift back to yourself type of thing.
Well, but still, I mean, I want Pete Alonso on my team. If we're going to be good and we're going to be a World Series team at some point, and all I need is one, Sean. I'm not greedy. No, I need one.
And there's dwindling homes left for Pete Alonso right now. The Yankees got Goldschmidt, so maybe you will get that.
Well, they should. It should be done now. Uncle Stevie, let's go.
Right.
Let's get it done.
Spend the
Fans
money.
Want them.
The price is going down every week that it waits.
That's right. That's right.
We talked about some of the things that went on in the Jets game, but are you upset with the loss at all?
Yeah, of course I am. Because they should have won the game. First of all, okay. They're moving the ball up and down the field.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of the fourth downs. The fourth down that they went for on their own 38-yard line or whatever it was, I didn't have a problem with it. They just got a big interception. They had the momentum. The play call, you knew he wasn't getting the first down.
Right.
They ran right in the middle of the line with Breece Hall. Let Rodgers throw the ball.
Right.
He hit a couple fourth downs throwing the football. Let him do that. Now, the fourth down that I went nuts about, and to me this really to me cost them the game as much as anything. You have this long drive to start the second half. You get all the way down in the red zone. It's 4th and 4. You got to kick, and I know the field goal kick is terrible,
right,
but you got to kick the field goal.
Get the points. Get the points.
You have to.
By
You
the way,
got to take a 6-point lead there. What are you doing? What is he doing, this guy?
So Joe, obviously I was calling the.
Yeah, I know you were in.
So I rewatched this.
Right.
The number of plays that the Jets ran from the end of the second quarter to the basically the middle of the third quarter, because they had the ball for so long.
Yep.
They didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, they got a field goal at the end of the half.
Right. That was it.
He should have kicked the field goal there in that opening drive.
Yeah.
It would have been a different game. They would have been ahead 12-6. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows how it plays out?
Yeah, then the Rams call it differently. Maybe the Rams start taking more risk, and then maybe they make the mistakes as opposed to the Jets making them.
And take the penalties. I mean, only my team can get back-to-back illegal men downfield penalties. Come on.
Joe, that's not true, by the way. My team could get those too. Believe me.
That's true.
Right.
That's
or
true.
the Raiders in the game I called. They had back-to-back
illegal shifts?
No, defensive offsides. Lined up offsides, back-to-back.
And they won the game.
And they somehow won the game.
Big win for you, Sean, by the way. I mean, you get into that number one. By the way, can I ask, Sean, do you watch Shadir Sanders or not?
I do, but I'm also at this spot now, Joe. I am not anti either Sanders or Ward, so it's going to be very hard for me to be unhappy.
Yeah, no, I get it. Either one. I mean, I really don't know. Look, I've seen a lot of both of them. I like them both. I don't know who's better.
Joe, here's the deal. I just want to be excited again.
Right.
And to me,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the quarterback being if and when he's a bust, he's a bust. I want to just feel rejuvenated as a franchise again here.
Are these guys out? Are Shane and Dable out?
Yesterday's a tough one to defend for me.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's one thing to lose the game 34-7 with 2 pick sixes and you don't sit Drew Lock at any point.
The problem is, Joe, they're getting blown out. Like there's a lot of bad teams, a whole lot of them, but they're losing by like the Jacksonville Jaguars. We keep having them. There are all these 1-score losses,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Indy the same way, 1-score losses. Giants, they've been blown out 3 times since the bye week, and 5 in the season, and so it's just that's not competitive. And when you're not putting competitive ball out there, something's wrong.
Now, Joe, let me ask you, because you just asked me about Sanders and Ward. It comes out after the whole shuffle of yesterday. Had the Jets lost to the Jaguars, the Jets right now would be picking second overall with the tiebreak.
I don't care.
Yeah. So you would rather be where you are now than be second up there with the Giants and the other quarterback.
I have said this forever. It's not where you pick. It's who you pick.
Yes.
That's true.
Okay? I could care less about the second pick in the draft. Yeah, okay, maybe they'd get one of these quarterbacks and they could develop them. And
but you want Aaron, so you're fine.
So what? But you know what? But I don't want this guy to play. If I got Cam Ward or Shadir Sanders next year, I want to sit him. I want to let Rodgers play. I'm done with that. I'm done with that, Teak. I've seen it with every guy we brought in here, whether it was Sanchez, whether it was Donald.
Gino.
We did it with Gino. We go right on down the line. Did it with Zach Wilson. No.
Right. The only success you had was Fitzpatrick, who was a vet.
Right. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about
coming out of the draft, right?
I know.
Guys that we drafted.
You want to do the Jordan Love thing with the Packers.
Absolutely.
I don't blame you that for all. All right,
absolutely.
Forget about the football for a second. You wake up today under your tree, Sean Benaya's back. Thoughts?
Yeah. Thank God. I mean, look at these stiffs that we brought in. Frankie Montas. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me?
I don't know if you heard, Joe. Lukey thinks Clay Holmes is going to be better than Max Fried.
I don't know. Is he going to be a relief pitcher or a starter?
He thinks he's a better starter.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be better than Max Fried. And they brought in this other guy with a 5-something ERA from the Angels. Who's this guy? Fanning?
No, Griffin Canning.
Fanning. He stinks. We know that. So, I mean, what's
not Dakota Fanning.
Yeah. So, I mean, she could probably pitch better.
Right.
But anyway, Minaya, I'm thrilled with Minaya. Now I want Pete. You get me Pete, and now I'm good.
Yeah.
What the Mets have done.
Right, but the thing is with the Canning guy and bringing back
Montas.
Or not bringing back, but bringing back Minaya and then getting Montas. They believe in the pitching lab, right?
Yeah.
They believe in Jeremy Hefner. Now, I guess this will prove it. I think that Sevy was interesting because he just had a confidence thing. It was more mental to me with him.
Right. I love the signing of Sevy.
Yeah, I agree. But we knew it was all mental because last year he was like, I don't even know what's wrong with me. I suck. I stink. I'm terrible. He got that out of his mind. He came back. He's a pretty good pitcher, which everybody kind of expected he was going to be. Minaya had a bounce-back year last year. And so some of it could be the pitching coach.
Maybe. I mean, let's look. I mean, if he can do wonders with Frankie Montas and what is his name? Channing, whatever his name is. Okay, if he can do wonders with those guys and he can make Clay Holmes into a legitimate starting pitcher, then God bless him.
But those are three big gifts, Joe.
Yeah.
Very big gifts.
Are you comfortable with the rotation now where it stands at to bring it back, Minaya? You still want something else?
Yeah. I mean, I look at it right now. As Senga and Minaya, to me, I feel good about, obviously. Senga hopefully is going to be healthy. I mean, outside of that, as Quintana's gone, right? He's not still on the team.
Right.
So... not great. Not great.
Now, Joe, we got Christmas Eve and Christmas coming up. I know this from running the board years ago with you.
Right.
Favorite Christmas song of all time?
Favorite Christmas song of all time. Wow. There's a few. The John Lennon song, So This Is Christmas, is a great song.
That is a good one.
I actually like Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Okay.
I also like the... what do you call it? Jingle Bell Rock, the original by Bobby Helm, going back 100 years. I do. I like that song. I do. I got to tell you. Let's see what. Oh, anything from the Phil Spector Christmas album.
Okay.
With the Ronettes, with the Crystals.
I don't know that one. I gotta find that one.
Let me tell you, bro. Tiki, check it out. Tremendous.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Now, Joe, also, Joe Benigno, young kid. Best gift Santa ever gave a Joe Benigno.
The best gift Santa ever gave a Joe. I'll tell you what it was. It was the 1969, the Jets played a playoff game at home against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
We lost the game 13-6. It was painful. I don't think we ever still recovered from this game. But with that said, there was I was a junior in high school. There was a kid who had season tickets for the Jets at that point. Couldn't go to the game. And he was selling the tickets. Remember, this game was not on television. This game was at Shea Stadium.
Right.
It was a Saturday game. They still were having the blackout back in 1969.
So stupid.
Ridiculous. But this game was not on local television. So I begging my mother. I said, Ma, you don't have to get me anything else for Christmas, right? I'm 16, whatever I am years old. You don't have to get me anything else for Christmas. You got to get me these tickets for the Jet game. And she did. And we went.
Wow.
And it was a brutally cold day. I was sitting in the end zone. I still see Otis Taylor coming at me on about a 70-yard pass play to set up what turned out to be the game-winning touchdown. Just so people know, okay, about this game. 13-6. Namath in the game was 14 for 40 for 164 yards. He threw 3 interceptions.
Oh, my
14
God.
for 40.
Oh, yeah. No, the win, it was brutal. This game was brutal.
Yeah.
We had a Drew Lock stat line.
This was like the beginning of what I've seen now for the last 56 years. So anyway, they're down 6-3. And by the way, this Chief defense is one of the great defenses of all time. They had 6 Hall of Famers on that defense. They went on to win the Super Bowl, all of that. The Jets have a 1st and goal on the 1-yard line, probably early fourth quarter. They're trailing 6-3, right? This is the kind of day it was. I mean, it was a brutal, wind was brutal, all of that. And first play, Matt Snell gets stuffed. Second play, Emerson Boozer gets stuffed. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 1. Namath tries I don't know what he was doing. I think he tried to roll out. I don't know what he was doing. And Buck Buchanan absolutely just annihilates him. They stop us. We had to kick a field goal 6-6. And then the Chiefs came right down the field. I mentioned about a 60, 70-yard pass play from Len Dawson to Otis Taylor, who should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way, Otis Taylor. And that set up the game-winning touchdown. I think it was right in front of me because I was in the end zone. It was Dawson, I believe it was Gloucester Richardson, caught the game-winning touchdown. So it's 13-6, and just to add insult to injury, and we saw this yesterday with Gibson as well, not that it would have mattered at the end when he fumbled the punt.
Right.
Okay? 13-6, about 50 seconds to go. The Jets are going to get pretty good field position. The Chiefs are punting. The Jets had this defensive back. His name was Mike Battle. He went to USC. Very highly regarded defensive back at Southern Cal back in, the O.J. Simpson days at Southern Cal, okay?
The glory days.
The glory day. John McKay, all of that. So here's the punt. Battle, fair catch. Going to get the ball around midfield. He fumbles. They recover.
God.
They recover. I go home, and I'll never forget. As we're going, my buddy and I are going back. Because we took the subway. We took the subway.
Train,
we took the bus from Jersey. I think it was a bus from Jersey at the time. And there was this drunk guy, right? He was wasted. This guy was so wasted, and he's kind of walking with us, right? And he's like, and the guy said, he goes, "How'd we do?" Because he didn't even know. He probably checked out in the second quarter. And I'll never forget this guy saying, "Oh, we lost." And little did I know that this was this is what it's been since. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
So that's so you asked me, that's the best present I ever got for
right, but it was like the start. It was the start of misery, Joe.
No, I understand.
Best present was the start of this jet drought that continues here. Unbelievable,
right.
Joe.
But it was a big deal to go to the game, and especially the fact that it was. These games weren't on TV. I had to go the year before when they in the AFL title game against the Raiders. I had to go to Philadelphia with my uncle to watch the game.
That's crazy.
It was ridiculous.
Was it as brutal back then? Like, were the fans as bad back then?
What do you mean by that?
In Philly?
Well, no,
He went to watch the game in Philly.
No, we just went to watch the game. No. They were playing the Raiders, and we had to go to Philadelphia to watch the game. We got a hotel room.
I got it. So you had because of the blackout.
Yeah,
right. So there were people in the hotel. It was a hotel, and they were promoting the New Yorkers coming down to watch the game. So we went down. They had lunch set up and all of that.
Imagine
what a time.
What
the
hell?
What a time.
Yeah.
Now, Joe,
you lived some life, Joe.
Yeah. One more.
What's that?
I said you lived some life.
Oh, bro, you have no idea. Bring back the payphones. Let me tell you, I got some stories, but we can't say them on the air.
One more for you. I know your buddies with Fireman Ed. Yesterday, he had this grievance after the game that again he felt like he's being phased out of the jumbotron. Where do you stand on this? Is he really that big a fabric that the Jets should not be doing this to him?
Look, here's my feeling. Fireman Ed should be more concerned about the state of this football team and of this franchise than of him not being shown on the jumbotron. That's how I feel.
Well, Joe, I think he's defending himself. I think he says this because people think he's not there. Because they're not showing him on the jumbotron. They think he's quit again, like he did, after the bunt fumble. And so I think he's just being loud so that he tells the fan base, "I'm still here. They're just not showing me."
I just think Fireman Ed should be a little more outspoken about the state of the franchise. And I like Ed. I got to play golf with him when we went to Canton to see Joe Klecko get into the Hall of Fame. Revis as well. We played golf out there. So we got, we bonded. He did one of my podcasts, as my live podcast at the Hackensack Brewing Company. Love Ed. He's a great guy. But look, I don't want to get into all of it. I mean,
not the day to make it about yourself, basically.
To me, like I said, Ed should be more concerned about where the franchise is going right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, Joe, listen, have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
guys.
Joe.
And if we'll talk to you, Happy New Year.
By the way, Tiki, I love your Christmas tree. When I watch you on Tuesdays with Tiki on SNY,
that's right.
That is a tremendous tree.
Right.
God bless you. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to all my Jewish friends out there, and God bless everybody. Enjoy it, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Joe. Take care. Well, ho, ho, ho. Santa brought you Joe B. And I asked Joe B his best Christmas gift of all time. And what could it be?
It's the start of misery for the Jets.
Isn't that so on brand?
So is that the beginning of it? That's
the beginning. Think about the year before they win the Super Bowl. So that was a brutal playoff loss, and it's been nothing but misery for Joe since. But still, the best gift Santa's ever given him, Teak.
They've been in the abyss for 55 freaking years.
And that goes back. That's where he gets that from.
Each of our local baseball teams did a significant signing this weekend. We'll get into both, and we're coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios.